Hi, it's Den here. In this video we're going to take a look at the camera gear and lenses that we're taking along. We're taking a lot of stuff, a lot of light painting gear, a lot of grip, so I'm going to break it down, but right now I just want to take a look at the cameras and the lenses that we're taking and give you a bit of an idea as to why. We're really restricted by weight. Although Kyrie's coming with me, so our total weight that we can take is around 70 kilos, I don't want to be traveling with a whole lot of gear. So I'm not taking every lens and every camera that I own. I'm being quite specific about what we're taking. So let's take a look at what and why. As far as cameras go, we're going to be taking the new Olympus EM10 Mark III. This is an amazing little camera. I've traveled with this quite a bit. It's beautiful to carry around. Kyrie will probably be using it a little for stills and bits and pieces. But this camera and this one, the EM5 Mark II, which I've got a battery grip on for more battery life, these two will mainly be being used for doing time lapses while we're out at night. I'll be working with the other gear and doing my light painting, and I'll probably have these two pointed off in different directions doing time lapses and long exposures and bits and pieces. These are great little travel cameras. They don't weigh anything, but they have all of the functionality built into them that we need for the trip. EM10 Mark III, EM5 Mark II. We're going to be taking two EM1 Mark IIs. Now, one of them is filming. This is the other one, but the configuration of them is exactly the same. So I've got the EM1 Mark II body, the battery grip. The grip is great. It gives you double battery life, but it also, I've got huge hands, so it's nice for me to be able to grip it nice and easily. When we're shooting video, it makes it nice and easy to grip. Now, when Kyrie is shooting video, she's not quite as strong as me, so she will be taking the battery grip off, and she'll be using it like this, which for her hands are a bit smaller than mine, and it'll be nice and easy for her just to carry it like that with the lens on. So those are the four mirrorless bodies that we're taking, which is great. I mean, these are all perfect for everything. We'll be shooting the majority of the video, all the video tutorials, and all of the video on the EM1 Mark II. Alright, so we'll be taking two Olympus TG Tracker action cameras. These things are nuts. They are waterproof, they are ultra strong, great for shooting time lapses. We might hook them onto the cars or whatever. They're going to be amazing to take away with us. They're brilliant little cameras. Okay, the other camera that we're taking, this is not an Olympus camera. This is a Ricoh Theta V. Now this is a 360 degree camera, still camera and video camera. It's their new model, absolutely astonishing. I haven't seen a lot of 360 degree stuff on Easter Island, so I'm looking forward to using this to create images of the island, but also capture some fun stuff of us on the island having a play. That's really exciting. Now, something that is really important on these cameras, mainly the EM1s that I want to tell you about, is the image stabilization. Now, we'll talk about it a bit in the lenses, but when you're shooting video, the 5-axis image stabilization built into these bodies is mind-bending. And what that means is that we don't have to be taking a whole lot of gliders or sliders or gimbals or bits and pieces. You'll see a lot of images where we're simply holding the camera and combined with one of these lenses I'll talk about in a minute, it means that we get incredibly stable images, super easy for when we're walking or moving around. So yeah, you'll see how amazing that is when we're shooting. Let's talk about glass. We'll start with the only non-Olympus lens that we're taking is this. This is a Samyang 10mm, and the reason I'm taking this is because it has manual aperture. There's a couple of things on the trip that I want to be doing where manual aperture is really important. I'm going to have a crack at some Singularity, which is the Palateth. Incredible images. I'll pop one up on the screen now, but in order to create those images you need a lens with manual aperture. This is a beautiful sharp lens. It's heavy, which is a bit of a shame, but that'll be coming with us. Let's look at the Olympus glass. Now, I have been quite selective about what I'm taking, and every single lens is coming for a reason. Of course, you can't go landscape shooting without the 7-14. This thing is bonkers, ultra sharp. You know, it's a staple of any micro four third landscape photographer. And for me, when I'm light painting, it's a no-brainer. Beautiful for video as well. We'll be using it for a lot of video when we're in the car or when we're walking around. We'll be using this a lot. Or just when we want an amazing sense of grandeur. 7mm full frame equivalent 14, stunning lens, f2.8, and it's a pro lens. All right, let's have a quick chat about this and let's talk about video. This lens is the 12-100. It is, which is equivalent to 24-200. So the range of this lens is absolutely incredible. But here's the thing with this lens. It has inbuilt image stabilization, and so what happens is when you combine that stabilization with the stabilization in the camera, basically you can be running along and shooting video with this, and it's just rock solid. You can shake it, walk, run, whatever. You'll see some footage that will come out of this combination that will blow your mind, and I imagine that when Kyrie is shooting a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with me, she'll be using this combination for sure. Maybe not with the grip on it because it is quite heavy for a micro four thirds camera. So here's something that's really fascinating. This camera here is the equivalent of a 24-200mm lens on a body with a grip, articulated screen. I mean, I have absolutely fallen in love with these cameras. Not just for my light painting, but for when I'm shooting video and also for commercial work. I want to show you something really fascinating. So this is the equivalent in a full frame camera, and you don't need to be a scientist to realize that one of these is quite heavy and one is super easy to carry around. Now, I'm not saying that a full frame camera is a bad thing in the slightest, but for me when I'm traveling, the distances that we're going and needing to take so much gear, a camera like this is absolutely incredible. So, that's a beautiful rig for video. Let's leave that guy there. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other lenses that we're taking. We've got the 7-14, the 12-100. Now, alright, so one of the other lenses that we're taking that you can't see because we're recording on it is the Olympus 12-40 f2.8 lens. Now, it's a stunning piece of glass for a whole lot of reasons. It's incredibly light, it has a good range, but one of the things I'm looking forward to utilizing it for is it has a very, very short minimum focusing distance. You can get right up on top of things to shoot with. So I'm looking forward to using that. And then these babies here. Now, one of the things with the type of video that I'm shooting and the type of photography that I'm doing while we're away is a massive amount of it is going to be at night. And these here are the 25, the 17 and the 45mm new f1.2 Pro lenses. Now, when you're shooting video at night, you can either crank the ISO on your images or be wide open at f1.2. Now, these guys absolutely suck light and are incredible for shooting video at night. You'll see a bunch of the footage that we do in tutorials. It's just absolutely glorious. But not only that, shooting stills with it during the day, landscape, time lapses, the whole lot. They are ultra sharp, incredibly light, and beautiful to work with. So as you can see, although we're taking a lot of gear with us, in real terms, it's pretty tight. Everything has a purpose. I will not come back without one of these lenses or one of these cameras being used really quite a lot. We haven't even got a name. This is our friend. We haven't even got a name for him. All right, so that's a bit of an overview of the gear that we're taking, and I think you'll see a lot more of these guys when we're doing tutorials, a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, that's a nice bit of an overview. I feel very lucky to be taking such a beautiful array of gear away with me. It's lightweight, it's incredibly robust. You can work with these things in the rain, and they're fine. Not that we're planning on having any bad weather, but yeah. Olympus, beautiful. Let's get into it. Now, In the next couple of videos, we're going to be taking a look at the other gear that we're taking. It's quite complex, the range of gear. We need to be thinking about a bunch of tripods, audio gear, lighting gear, and in the coming up, we'll be having a look at that. There's also some things when you're generating a lot of video that we need to be thinking about with backup, and I've got some pretty stringent stuff around that I do, and I'll be covering that with you. Excellent, thanks for coming. We're very close.